I have so many people to thank. I want to thank our sponsors, especially the Special Events Fund from PHA that's now made up of Actillion. If you're from Actillion, can we see you please? Stand up. Thank you so much, Actillion. Thank you. And also Teva. Teva, where are you? Are you here? I see you. Okay, thank you so much. We also had wonderful sponsorships from Pfizer, from United Therapeutics, from CuraScript, from Accredo, from so many of you. Thank you so much for everything. I want to give special thanks. I know I mentioned them right before you went off to golf, but they're only here once in a while. They're hardly ever in my state. We have people from the Pulmonary Hypertension Association, which helps us be able to do all this, to enable research to go on. And so if you look at the people up at this table, you'll see a bunch of people from PHA. I'd just like you to give them all a hand, people who started it. Thank you so much. We have several pulmonary hypertension physicians in the audience. Dr. Mike Lagoon, Dr. Greg Elliott, Dr. Mike Rouser. If they're here, would you stand up? Thank you for the wonderful work that you do. I'd like to tell you a story tonight. I won't take up much of your time because I really know you want to know who won all those things. That's really why you're still sitting at your table. I grew up believing that with determination and hard work, anything at all is possible. I wanted to grow up to be a wife, a mother, and a teacher. I worked hard, and I achieved all of those things. But I experienced and learned so much more along the way. Tonight I'd like to tell you my story, quickly, I promise. And I hope that by doing so I will encourage you to continue to stand by us and continue your determination to help us in the field of pulmonary hypertension. Pulmonary hypertension has impacted my life in one way or another for over 28 years since 1982. My terrific husband, Jerry, and I were married in 1971, and as you can tell by these photos, that's when this was taken. I was so excited, yay, I was finally a wife. And not too long after that, by late 1978, we had welcomed 4 wonderful, husky children into the world, and I was happy, I was a mom. We were happy, healthy, we thought, family with 1 girl and 3 boys. Michelle, who's here tonight, Michael, Mark is here tonight, and Matthew. Family and friends kindly referred to them as the M&Ms. They were so cute and so much fun. We had a great time with them, and my Jerry and I tried to teach them how to laugh and how to get the most out of life. They all loved life and they loved each other, and then in 1982, the doctor told us that our 3 older children were just fine, but that our youngest one, Matthew, needed to see a pediatric cardiologist. At that time, I had no idea what a pediatric cardiologist was. After all, Matthew was in preschool, he was 3 years old. He seemed pretty healthy and happy to us. That little sparkle in his eyes. But 9 months later, after the second angiogram, the doctor told us he will not live to be a teenager. He has a disease for which there's no cure. It's called primary pulmonary hypertension. And our world was so happy and healthy, spun wildly out of control. We wanted to know what to expect, what to do. We wanted to know more about the disease. And we asked, but there was no Pulmonary Hypertension Association in those days. And the doctor just said to us, most patients with this diagnosis die within 1 year. Just give him a baby aspirin every day and put him on oxygen 24/7. He's too young for a heart transplant that might help him. I'm sorry, this disease affects only 2 people per million. You'll never ever meet another person with pulmonary hypertension. I really wish I could stand here and tell you that I never did. Matthew got skinnier, he got more tired, he got more out of breath, and although he went to preschool every day with his oxygen, He was for sure getting worse. Within 12 weeks of being diagnosed, our baby was gone, very suddenly. We didn't understand why, or how, or what in the world we were going to do next. Hug each other very tightly, the doctor said, and hold on to your memories. And we did. And we tried to go on, now a family of 5 instead of 6, the way it was supposed to be. But it was really, really hard. We tried to make new memories in all kinds of ways. And our other 3 kids started growing up and growing even more close to each other. Hopefully they'll forgive me for putting these pictures in. They made memories and more memories. And then, after getting suddenly short of breath during church play practice, my fun-loving husband, who loved life and laughter and children, teaching kids most of all, and music, was diagnosed after an exam at UC San Diego with those same horrible words. It's primary pulmonary hypertension. Dr. Richard Chanik said, go home and get your affairs in order, say your goodbyes. We could put you on a lung transplant list, but you won't live long enough to get one. I'm really very sorry. Jerry was only 46 at the time that he told us that. And so, we told our family and friends our bad news, and we described what little we knew about PH. And then we heard about it, a friend of a relative, actually, our sister-in-law was Gerald, who's here tonight, was instrumental in helping us get to somebody who had heard of Dr. Bruce Brendage, who was doing some clinical trials with a drug called Flolan. Oh my God, I was going to have to make some medicine every day. I teach 2nd and 3rd grade, I'm not a nurse. I had to handle big needles. But it was a chance we had to take. It was the only thing they had to offer. So Jerry had a Hickman catheter implanted into his chest. He carried a pump and a fanny pack. He just told people he was from Canada. And after a few months, Jerry, he went home and sat in a wheelchair and got on oxygen, and he got on disability and left his teaching job that he loved so much. And after a very few months, he turned to me and he said, do you think it's in my head, or do you think I'm getting better? And he actually was getting better because of the medication. And he went back to teaching and taught for another 10 years after that. Meanwhile, however, we were very special. Not only were we just those few people in a million that get this disease in our family, but that get this disease, but we were one of 10% of that minute group that has it in their family, that has a gene mutation for it. Because of that, we had to have our other 3 children tested. Mark and Michelle were pronounced just fine. Michael, who was then 21, that's just slightly elevated pulmonary pressures, so they did some more tests. He had absolutely no symptoms. And after the test, they came out to tell us a 3rd positive diagnosis of pulmonary hypertension for our family. He had no symptoms at all. His pulmonary pressures were nearly 60, which is about 4 times what they should be. Michael was working, going to school. He had just gotten married to Danielle, who is here tonight. And suddenly everybody started contacting us from different study centers around the country asking us for our blood. His baby girl, Christiane, was born just 4 months after he was diagnosed. But he went on with no symptoms, not feeling bad at all, for nearly 2.5 years. And then one day he was just fine, and the next day he had 103.5 fever. 3 days later he was coughing up blood. He was hospitalized and put in ICU. And a short 16 days later, he was gone. Michael was just 24 years old. He left a 22-year-old widow and a 2-year-old daughter. Jerry, on the other hand, because of Flolan, had lived long enough to bury 2 of his children, more than any man should have to do. And shortly thereafter, to walk our daughter Michelle down the aisle, something she'd always dreamed he'd be able to do. People often asked us how we got through our days of illness and setbacks and of appointments and disappointments. Well, I credit Jerry. He was a very upbeat, positive guy with a tremendous faith, and as many of you know, with an infectious laugh. And we just use this as our motto. Always have someone to love, something to do, and something to hope for. For those extra 13 years, that's what we did that we had together after he was diagnosed. And as we met so many in the PH world whom we loved, many whom we lost, we had plenty of work to do helping out the PHA, creating awareness, talking to other patients, starting support group meetings, and we were always planning something fun. We planned for our near future, a trip, a celebration, a special get-together, a cruise, and silly me, I kept buying him new toys to keep his mind off the fact that he couldn't do many of the things he'd done before pulmonary hypertension engulfed our lives. Even in his wheelchair, he'd go out in the garage and say, "I love that car." By 2006, the effects of pulmonary hypertension and the years of drugs to treat the disease had really taken their toll on him. However, he refused to give up. And he kept a positive attitude right up until the end, when finally neither he nor the doctors could do that anymore. He lost his battle with pulmonary hypertension in April of 2007. And that day, the world and I lost so much. It was just 2 days before our next cruise. He died of heart failure at the very much too young age of 59. We had spent 37 years together, and I miss him so much every day. Do I share all of this to make you sad? To ruin your otherwise beautiful day? Your fun-filled day of golf? No. I share it because this is only one pulmonary hypertension story. I know of so many more. Some of you heard Carl last year, who lost his daughter. Many of you don't know that we're joined tonight by by Michael and Sherry Caffrey, who lost their 4.5-year-old daughter just a few months ago. There's so many people in this room whose lives have been touched by pulmonary hypertension. Because of that, I am committed to working for the next 20 or 28 or 30 or 38 years, or however long it takes, to find a cure for the disease, this disease that stole 1/2 of my family. I share this family to let you know how happy I am that PHA exists, that provides hope to so many people. They keep on fighting for us, for all the people whose lives have been turned inside out because of the disease. Mostly, though, I share this story because I'm so happy to know about you guys. Each of you who have stood by my family, who care so deeply for us, who love Michael and Matthew and my wonderful Jerry, and have stood beside us to fight in winning the battle against this disease. Every research project that we fund, everything we can do for those in the PH community brings us one day closer to creating a world where families won't need to lose a loved one to a little-known disease. I was told once during World War II, Winston Churchill was asked to give a speech to the fighting men. And he stood up on stage and he came to the mic and he just said, "Never, never, 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 never give up." And he sat down. What a message. Despite what you might think after hearing my story tonight, life does go on. We've gone on loving and living and trying to make a difference in each other's lives. With the PH research, with new drugs to treat pulmonary hypertension, PHA patient and caregiver support, we simply must find a cure for pulmonary hypertension in our lifetime. Personally, I've invested too much already to give up now. And besides that, Christiana's counting on you. Christiana, are you here? Christiana is now 15 and without her dad since the age of 2. She's a healthy 15-year-old enjoying high school, enjoying a full life, including drama and music, the very same things that Michael loved. And I want to thank you and tell you that Michelle is counting on you. Michelle is right there. Michelle is now 38, and although she carries the gene mutation for pulmonary arterial hypertension, she is herself healthy. She and her husband, John, are here tonight and have been happily married for 12 years. They live near Spokane, Washington with their 2-year-old foster son, Osiah, that some of you saw running around here earlier. And one more time, thank you. My son Mark is also counting on you. Mark? He also has the gene mutation for this disease, but he's also healthy himself right now. He and his wife Carrie live nearby in Southern California, and they had a 5-month-old baby that was born on January 7th, and so far, little Caleb is healthy too. Caleb, Carrie, there they are. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here. So much is at stake. Thank you for being part of this important event. As a direct result of people like you being involved, I will continue to stay determined in the face of pH adversity. pH treatment is improved. There are now 9 FDA-approved drugs. At the time Matthew was diagnosed, it was nothing. The picture for pH patients is improving every day. It went from no treatment to 1 treatment to many options, and because of people like you who are contributing to research to find treatments and a cure, I had those extra 13 years with my Jerry. Thank you for those memories. Thank you for letting me share my story with you tonight. Thank you for being here. Please enjoy your dinner. We'll be making announcements about winners in just a little while. And again, if I've missed anybody, I'm so sorry, but thank you all for being here and standing with us, with my family.